Welcome to 10 Minutes with Tony Scott. Today's show is brought to you by Gentry Academy in Blaine. Gentry is a high-end school that provides its students leadership training, a great education, and top-of-the-line hockey development. Over the course of the year, we've seen the school grow. With this growth, they've added some great people to make the students' experience even better. Last weekend, there were a ton of great stories for us to cover. First, the Warrior Cup. What a fun event for our team to take part in this year. We saw teams from the metro area, Colorado, northern Wisconsin, and northern Minnesota. Somehow, the YHH cameras always seem to find some great pictures and broadcast some great games. On Sunday, we saw an epic game between the O2 Lake Superior Stars and the Colorado Kodiaks. The Kodiaks had some outstanding individual stars like Ty Smilanic, Cole Stofflet, and Matthew Nice. But the Stars had some studs of their own. Blake Biondi didn't score in the title game, but he had a couple pretty assists and was a workhorse for the Stars up front. On the blue line, Mason Langenbrunner is a fun player to watch. He has great skill and the confidence of a prize fighter. The Stars came from behind in regulation and in the shootout to win. Hats off to Carter Clafton from Grand Rapids, who came in relief to win the game for the Stars. In other Warrior Cup action, the 03 Miracle Gold walked through the field to an easy win in the invite. Elk River was represented well last weekend. Joe Greniak was the tournament MVP. Connor Kurth and birthday boy Blake Johnson were all standouts for the gold. In the 01 invite, two kids from Colorado took home YHH Hatties, Alex Harlan and Brady Berlin. Berlin had some major wow factor in his game, and Harlan has some skill too. The Kodiaks outlasted Tommy Chicago's and the refs 8-4. Robert Christie and Wiz Wyatt winner Matthew Gleason were standouts for Tommies. Miracle Gold had a great weekend in the 04 invite, beating Breakaway in the title game. Mora's Jack Kritzik was the shock doctor tourney MVP. And finally, Breakaway won the 06 division. Ryan McPartland took home shock doctor MVP honors, and Tommy Chicago's got some hardware winning the 05s. Jaden Venny was our shock doctor MVP. We'll be announcing all of our shock doctor all-tournament teams on Wednesday on YHH. Congrats go out to two Minnesota teams who won the Chi-Town Shuffle. The 03 Blades and the 01 Machine Orange took home first place. A lot of our top Minnesota teams did well down in Chicago. The 04 Blades advanced to the championship, and many others ended up losing in the quarterfinals and semifinals. Last week, we revealed a team bio of the Atlantic team, coached by former NHLer John Sim, that will be playing in the show this summer in Bloomington. This week, we reveal one of the two Ontario teams on the site for the big event coming soon. In May, YHA agreed to follow the Great Plains team to Madison, Wisconsin, where they'll take on the Midwest team for a couple pre-tourney exhibition games. Speaking of the show, several of the Great Plains kids had great weekends down at the Chi-Town Shuffle. Isaac Howard had a game-winning goal in overtime to beat Team Illinois on Saturday, and Ben Dardis, a YHH Goalie of the Year finalist, was named tourney MVP at the 04 level. This week is a huge week for a couple hundred 2000 birth year players. They will participate in the CCM High Performance 15 Festival in Plymouth. The 2000s are in phase 3 of the process that will eventually land 20 kids in Minnesota in the national camp in July. 102 players will be selected next weekend to St. Cloud for phase 4. The camp in St. Cloud is a great event. This week, our premium subscribers will get first-hand look at who the top 2000s in the state are and when they'll be playing in Plymouth. One of those will surely be Jackson Nelson from Laverne. As first reported on YHH last week, Jackson committed to play Division I hockey for Don Lucia and the University of Minnesota. It's always fun to interview a player and hear what he has to say about committing to the school of his dreams. Featured Now Prospects. This past weekend, 4 of our 2018 Now Prospects finished in the top 10 scores at the HP 16 Festival. Centennial's Lucas McGregor and Bantam Player of the Year finalist Hayden Brickner each had 2 goals and 2 assists, and Matt Fisher from Brainerd and Bantam Player of the Year finalist Tyler Watkins from Hermantown each had 3 points in 3 games. The one thing all these players have in common? All of them played Bantams last year. This week, we are happy to announce a new member to the 2018 class. St. Cloud goalie Keegan Karkey has been added to the Now Prospects list. Keegan is very athletic and fills up the net really well. He's the kind of goalie that can win games for his team that they aren't supposed to. Keegan attends St. Cloud Cathedral. Vote STMA. If you follow youth hockey on social media, you obviously know by now that St. Michael Albertville is in the Final Four for the $150,000 grant from Kraft. Starting today, you can vote 150 times a day, and tomorrow, a vote for STMA is a vote for Minnesota hockey. This grant will help STMA add a second sheet of ice for their community. More ice equals more options for them. Today and tomorrow, Minnesota is taking on Decatur, Illinois, who we think has a very motivated core of volunteers. We need everyone in Minnesota to get on this bandwagon today and tomorrow and vote. Simply visit stma.com for details. I did it last week. It took me 18 minutes to vote 150 times each time. Again, the website for voting info is votestma.com. Tweet of the week. This week we have 2 tweets to feature. The first is to Minnesota Hockey. They tweeted out that Rich Rackness received a President's Award for his service as Minnesota Hockey's Registrar and District 8's District Director. There are no more deserving volunteers of this award in Minnesota than Rack. Congratulations to you, Rack. Keeping things south of the river, we got a great tweet from Chad Kruger who tells us 8 people were interviewed Monday for the Lakeville South High School job. We will keep you posted on when a new coach is named. Thanks, Chad, for the info. Info on some great equipment here. A couple weeks ago, we had Matt Hapola from General Sports into the studio to talk about the importance of skate fitting. He said, you got to remember, the skate needs to become a body part, not a piece of equipment attached to your foot or tied to your foot. Here's a skate that's been a hot seller at GS, the Bauer MX3. The MX3 is built for the power skating speedster. It has a low-cut boot, you can see here, and it has 3 different inserts for tongue flexibility. My favorite part is the quick change blade that you can see here. You can insert blades in and out with a push of a button. So you can have blades for all reasons, treadmill, outdoor, indoor. And my favorite part is the extra pair in case little Johnny forgets his skates are dull 10 minutes before leaving for the rink. That should be a boom roasted of itself. But we do have some boom roasted. We have 2 this week. The first is to me. I went out and tried to predict the Warrior Cup champions at the invite level. I went 1 for 6 on my invite predictions. The roasted goes to me for even trying to predict a AAA tournament at all. Another goes to a few refs we saw who spent more time arguing with coaches than actually reffing the game. Here's the deal. Your job is to ref, not hold court with a coach about every call and every play. The more you talk to the coaches, the less control of the game you'll have. On to our thumbs up. Huge thumbs up to Dave Fromm from Colorado for hauling a group of kids from the Rockies to play in our Warrior Cup. Each of his teams had some bona fide stars that we got to see. Dave is an ex-City Conference goalie and high school coach in Minneapolis. It was great to see him and catch up. Thumbs up to you, Dave. Finally, a thumbs up to everyone who has pitched in so far and helped promote Albertville's campaign for this big grant. Getting to the Final Four is $40,000 to STMA. Winning is $150,000. Please go to votestma.com to help today and tomorrow. Hopefully on next week's show, we will be going for the big prize. This weekend should be a great weekend of hockey in Plymouth. We hope to see you at the rink. Have a nice day.